the chemical safety hazard that can be present in food. They can be classified into different categories. For example, the chemical hazards can come from the permitted food additives as well. As we already know that there are a large number of food additives that are allowed to be used in specific food at specific concentrations. But when the concentration of these additives is increased to a level which is not permitted, then there are chances that these food additives can pose some serious health hazards when they are consumed by humans. Although they do have a lot of good applications or good reasons why we add food additives. For example, they may be added to increase nutrition of the food, or maybe to preserve food, or maybe to elongate the shelf life of these food products. But if they are used indiscriminately, these permitted food additives can have serious implications. Then there are other class of chemical hazards that are classified as naturally occurring uh, harmful compounds. So these compounds, they do come from the food source as an inherent material, and they can be of of different forms. For example, we can have oxalates in rhubarb, we can have alkaloids in potatoes, and we can have toxins in mushrooms and shellfish. So these are the harmful compounds that are naturally present within these food systems, and normally it is not very easy to remove them or isolate them. In certain mushrooms, for example, these harmful additives can be life-threatening, and same is true with many of the um, shellfish as well. Then there is another class of chemical additives called as unavoidable contaminants. Although these contaminants are they get entry into the food during the processing life cycle or during the growth in the field conditions, but again it is not very easy to remove them, and they are considered to be as unavoidable. For example, in most of our field crops, we can see the problems of aflatoxins. So aflatoxins can get into the food system due to the growth of different fungi in food, especially in rice or maybe wheat. When there is excessive humidity during the processing or storage, these aflatoxins are produced. Once these aflatoxins are produced in these crops and then they are fed to animals, these aflatoxins do get entry into the milk as well. And from milk, similarly, if we make other products, these aflatoxins, they do remain within those end products as well. So this is how these unavoidable contaminants, they get entry into the food system, and they are so widespread that we have to classify them as unavoidable contaminants. Although there are limits, there are legal limits, regulatory limits of how much aflatoxins are allowed, and if they exceed a specific level, then they must be the food must be discarded. The next class is agricultural residues. As you know that most of the agriculture has to depend upon so many different chemicals for a lot of different reasons. They can be added as insecticides or pesticides. They can also be added as hormone in different food production in the field as well. There can be different drugs, for example, in livestock or in the dairy or poultry. We have to use drugs as well. Hormones, antibiotics are used in these agricultural products and livestock products. So these agricultural residues, when they exceed specific limits, they can be very harmful. Although it's very difficult to avoid them because the agriculture has to be efficient, and in order to make it more productive, there are a lot of different additives or different chemicals which are allowed to be used for the production of crops and livestock or other animals and animal based products. Then there is another class of chemical hazards. This is called as industrial contaminants. Industrial contaminants, as the name suggests, that these are the contaminants that are produced um, and added into the food system through industrial operations, industrial processing. There may be uh, different chemicals that get into the food system due to the industrial operation. For example, we can have heavy metals, we can have polychlorinated uh, biphenyls, PCBs, or other things that do come from the piping or structure within the food system or the factory system that gets these uh, hazards into the end product that is produced in those factories. Another class is called as chemical residues. These are the residues which are found in industrial operation again when we use different cleaning products to clean these industrial vessels or piping or industrial utensils, etc. So these residues they get entry into the food, into the final food, and then they may become chemical hazards. They may be examples may include some of the lubricating chemicals which has to be used in order to keep the machines and instruments working within these industrial setups. There may be a class of chemicals which can be classified as prohibited chemicals. These prohibited chemicals are basically the chemicals which are not allowed in specific food, based on the information that they may be harmful when they are added into specific foods, and that's why they have to be uh, restricted by the government agencies, especially the food safety authorities, that they do not allow such food chemicals to be added in specific foods. A next category of chemical hazards is the food allergen. It's again is a vast area, and we are seeing a large number of increasing incidences of allergenicity that comes from different foods. The most commonly recognized sources of food allergens are peanuts, soybeans, eggs, milk, fish, crustacea, and different nuts. So these allergens again they are because they are chemical in nature, so they can be classified as chemical food safety hazards. So this we covered these different groups of chemical hazards that are found in food, and they have got their own different origins and origin from the where they can get into food systems, and then they can create problems when they are consumed.